Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on to watch this video. If you haven't been here before, then just plain welcome. So today, as you can see from the title, I say that every single video, but you can see that I have done this super glowy peachy makeup. So this is called, the eyeshadow anyway, is called the Charlotte Darling palette. That's the palette that I wanted to use today. So if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, so as you can see, I'm starting out today's video with my foundation and my concealer, and obviously all my skincare already done, purely because my foundation and concealer routine basically doesn't really change ever, because I'm obsessed with the duo that I use. So if you're new here and you actually want to know what I used the All Charlotte Tilbury, the Magic Serum, Magic Cream and the Magic Eye Rescue. For my base then, I used the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow, and foundation I used the Airbrush Flawless Filter in shade 5.5 Neutral and my Magic Way Concealer in shade number 3. And yes, those are teeth marks because I can never get the lid off. So just gonna jump straight into this then. I am taking, and it's a brand new one, I'm so excited to use this. This is the Contour Wand, and this one is in the shade Light to Medium. So this is how it comes. So as I said, it's a brand new one, so I'm so excited to use it. You basically just twist it open, squeeze it through, and I'm gonna stop squeezing about there. You do actually need very little of this, so it's squeezed to about that much, maybe a wee bit more. You can see it comes up, and then I am going to turn it off. I think that's one of the main things. My last one got so dirty because I kind of forgot to close it. So I'm just dotting it ever so slightly above my cheekbone because I want to keep everything quite high. And I'm going to dot just a bit around the forehead, or a lot, around my nose, a few wee dots, a little under the lip because why not, and then across the jawline. And you can obviously, if you're using a product like this, you can use whatever you want to blend it out. I always just use my foundation brush because there's always a little bit of foundation kind of left on it, so it just helps the blend a wee bit more. You can obviously use a sponge or whatever you fancy. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times between here and on my Instagram. You guys, if you followed me for a while, you will know that I love this product. As you'll be able to see, like, look, it just blends like a dream, and I'm really, like, little to no effort blends this out. It is the easiest contour product I have ever used. And so to set everything in place then, I am taking the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder. This is in the shade number 1. I always, even whenever I've got tan on or whenever my foundation is a little bit darker, I still tend to reach for shade number 1, purely because I really only use it in the centre of my face, so I do want it to remain quite bright. Hopefully you'll be able to see on camera how smooth this powder is, and I really am taking like the tiniest amount of it, but you can see the difference from side to side. It's just amazingly pore smoothing and sets your makeup all day. Okay, so I'm just going to keep working away at my base here before I move on to my eyes. So taking the Airbrush Flawless Bronzer, very well loved. As you can see, this is the most perfect shade for me. This is in the shade Medium. These, by the way, are refillable, so if you have it or you're interested in getting one, so it's just a mess here, but you pop it through, the pan pops out, and the bronzer to buy on its own is £39, but you actually get the refill for £29, which I think is such a great saving. And apart from the sticker at the back, but this has stayed really intact, and this has been bouncing about my makeup bag for the last 6 months probably. So similar to the contour product that I laid down, I do want to keep this up relatively high. And I mean, obviously if you're trying to achieve a look like this with as few steps as possible, obviously you can skip out either the cream contour step, or you can skip out the bronzer step and just use one. Personally, I just like the way that they kind of layer up. I think having a couple of layers, it just has a more flattering finish as opposed to just one heavy layer. Okay, so I'm going to move on to eyes now, so I will come back and do my blusher and highlighter towards the end. But the eyeshadow then that I'm taking, and you'll probably have already guessed it by the clip at the start and the title, but I'm using the Charlotte Darling palette. So this is a palette that Charlotte created. It's basically her like most used colours and colours that she would wear on a daily basis. It comes with 2 looks essentially, but obviously there's nothing to stop you using all the colours. But you have look number 1 is a slightly softer, more peachy toned, and then we have this one here, which is again a nice warm trio, but this one here is more of like an evening look, so you've got day and night. So in terms of money, her usual eyeshadow palettes, which look like this, so her quads, they retail at £40. Whereas this one here then retails at 45, so for an extra £5 you get a few more colours to work with then, especially if you're somebody who's looking to try Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows for the first time. While these are so beautiful, and one thing to note is all of her quads come with a pop shade. These ones don't, however the shimmery shades are pretty shimmery. So I am probably going to use the majority of the shades. I know for sure I'm going to use this on the lid. I will probably use this one here first of all into the crease, and I'm definitely going to dip into these two matte shades there. So let's just get stuck in. So I'm just going to go in with the first shade here. Essentially just apply it all over the lid. I'm using a Peaches and Cream PC40 brush just to apply this. You can of course use your finger as well, like it goes on really well with a finger. I'm actually just going to keep a little bit of that shade underneath the eyebrow there as well. So next up, as I say, I'm going to take this shadow here, and I'm going to keep, this one's going to be the one that's going to kind of blow the eyeshadow out. So I'm going to use quite a lot of this colour. So whenever I'm applying my eyeshadow, I kind of stamp my product down really lightly, not too harsh, but so that I can see the shape that I want. So you can see I'm kind of stamping this out, or just kind of dragging it out, to be honest, so that I'm kind of creating almost like my wing shape already. And then I tap off my brush and I kind of work back on it. So next up then, I am going to take this shade here, and I'm using a Charlotte Tilbury blender brush to do that. With each kind of like darker colour, I always like to take a new brush. Most of the time anyway, whenever I'm not being totally lazy, but it just means then that if I put too much on of the darker colour, I can go back in with the other brush that had the lighter shade on it, and I can kind of diffuse it slightly. So similar to before, I'm just kind of stamping where I want the colour, and then I will go in and blend it out. So I'm just kind of slowly working that colour up. I do want that to be the kind of main colour. And I'm just going in with the brush from before, as I say, just to kind of flick everything out and soften it all together. Moving on then with the last matte shadow in the palette. This one here is the darker brown of the colours. And going in with a Charlotte Tilbury smudger brush this time, and again essentially doing the exact same thing as before, just not bringing the colour up as high, really keeping it almost into that liner area. And then I'm actually just going to take this shade here on my finger and pop a little bit almost in between like the light shade that we used first of all, and then those matte shadows. And so to create a super smoky under eye effect, then I'm going to go in with the classic black eye pencil, and I'm just going to run it underneath my lash line. Again, I've said it before, but if I put anything into my waterline, it just closes my eye in too much. I do have quite small eyes, so I'm going to keep it underneath and do a super smoky kind of like under lash line. Just so that I know where to put my liner later, I'm just going to kind of follow on a little extension, and I will come back to that later. When you're doing something like this on yourself, you really do just need to trust the process. It just looks like a hot mess, but once you start to blend it out, it looks great. So I'm just going in with that matte brown shade then first of all. Basically just going to press on top of the liner and then kind of wiggle it back and forth. And taking a blender brush, the one that I just had from before, and just running it over everything. And then just actually with that same brush, I'm just going to grab the lightest matte shade. I'm going to put it underneath absolutely everything. If you're pretty tired, this is a great way to cover any eye bags. Just pack some eyeshadow on there and call it a day. Okay, so obviously I've got my liner done on one side, so I'm just going to even it out on this side. And I'm going to start by pressing it along the lash line, stopping about 2/3 of the way over, drawing in my wing, and then connecting the two. So I'm going in with my mascara today. It is the Full Fat Lashes mascara. I just love this mascara. It's the most like buildable mascara. So it should come as absolutely no surprise to anybody that knows me that I will be going in with the Lip Cheek in the shade Hot Gossip. It's just the most perfect brown, and I wear it whether I'm wearing pink lipstick, nude lipstick, whatever, I wear it. It's just the best. So I just kind of put my liner on and then rubbed a little bit onto my lip, and now I'm just kind of patting it out before I put my lipstick on. For my lipstick then, I'm going in with the Bitch Perfect shade, and I'm just going to run it all over my lips. So I absolutely love this lipstick, but you know me, I want to add a little gloss over top, and I want to make it a little bit peachier to match the eye. So I'm going in with the Collagen Lip Bath. I love these. Best glosses ever. They do come in several shades, but this one is called Peachy Plump. It does look bright orange, but I swear to God it doesn't come out that colour. I'm going to take a substantial amount. Be rude not to, you know. So to add a little bit of colour back into the cheeks then, I am of course going to go in with some Cheek to Chic blusher. This one is in the shade Ecstasy. I've just gone in with the Swish shade, which is around the outside, and then I'm going to pop just into the centre. There is a very, very soft kind of subtle glow that comes off that blusher, which is lovely, but of course, me being me, I have to go in with some highlighter as well. For highlighter then today, I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand in the shade Spotlight. So similar way that the contour wand works, I'm just going to squeeze the product up and close and just apply across my cheekbones. So I'll do this side first. So I'm just going to apply it right about there, and I'm just going to start to pat it out with my fingers. I've used this product a lot on my kind of like Instagram and YouTube. I always tend to use it before I powder, but you can use it on top of powder, and I wanted to show you that today. It doesn't lift the, especially if you pat, it doesn't lift the foundation. And if you really, really like your highlighter quite strong, then this is a great last step in your routine. I'm going to put a tiny bit there. Ding, 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 ding. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I am feeling this highlighter. I feel like that was what I was missing all this time throughout this video. That is just such a glossy cheek. What a great highlighter. If you're in the market for a new highlighter, whether it's cream or not, I 10 out of 10 recommend this. This is one of my, it's always been in my top 5 favourite Charlotte Tilbury products, but I'm just going to set this little masterpiece in place with the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Of course, it is my ride or die right now. Okay guys, so here we have the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. This is just a super peachy, warm and glowy look. Perfect makeup for every day, or would be so nice for, I know we're coming into winter, but this would be such a nice summer makeup look. But if you enjoyed watching this makeup look, then please do let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.